Hello everyone, welcome back to Planescape Torment. Let me just check if all of this is right. I do think... Wait. I believe that the game was a little bit loud. It might still be a bit loud. Even though in the game it's very quiet in the actual game, so without further ado, okay, I think this is much better, even though, let me check, put this down just a notch. I hope this is alright. This should be good from the, no, I'm still not happy. The bars on my OBS are not mine. Now this feels much better. The thing is, a bit loud for me. Okay, this should be fine. Yes, God, OC Remix, Viking Guitar, Swamp Killer. That was an awesome track to start this, the stream. Excuse me while I take a sip of green tea. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? I feel a little bit bad because I did have time to stream, but I simply was too lazy to actually do it, and I wanted to play different games, and yeah, that's the truth of it. It's I think it's really true when people say streaming is a grind, and you have to find some fun in doing it consistently. And well, I'm trying. So we're back at long last, and yeah, today I should have a bit more time, so let's go for a bit more than an hour and just see how far we can come today with the game. So we've entered the bar. I forgot the name of the bar. Can I read that again in my journal? Oh yeah, and we had some side quests. Find a way to help Ingress. That was a mad woman who found doors everywhere. Seftai wanted revenge on some bandits. And Creta. Oh yeah, for this for the weird guy, we had to find somebody that he's looking for, and we should find him. And our main quest is still looking for Farad, and also our journal, which is apparently with Farad. I just wanted to find out the name of the bar that we're in. I forgot that completely. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Alright, then let's just dive right in and just talk to the people. Maybe we'll get to find the name of the bar again. And also, anyway, we're here to find Farad, so... This female corpse is dressed in a heavy burlap shirt covered with food and wine stains. Her lips have been stitched closed, and her arms and legs are wrapped in several layers of bandages. Bandages seem to have been soaked in preservatives to keep the corpse fresh. As a result, the corpse's rotting odor has been replaced with an equally repulsive vinegar smell. By the way, I forgot to draw attention to that, but you've probably already noticed. Today I'm experimenting with having the camera in black and white. There's, what's the name of the Excessive Profanity, I think is the streamer's name, who uses this technique, but I'm sure there are others as well. I like it a lot, to be honest, because I believe this makes me look a little bit better than I actually do in reality. And the camera that I have is not really great, so I've tried playing around with the sliders for color correction and stuff like that, but it just makes my nose very red and orange and doesn't really work, or I look pale as shit. So yeah, black and white seems like one of the best solutions for now, but I'm going to experiment with that from stream to stream, so don't worry if the camera thing is going to look different every time. Okay, so do we want to flirt with the zombie worker? So, doing anything later? The zombie continues to stare at you. Alright then, great talking to you, farewell. As you turn away, you notice Mort staring at you. Eh? What is it? Did you see the way that cadaverous beauty was staring at me? Morty's teeth chattered as if in anticipation. She was looking for some lucky cutter to thaw her coffin. Oh, please don't start this again. Mort ignores you and becomes thoughtful. I don't really mind the attention, actually. It's just that I like to be seen as something more than just a skull, you know? I have feelings that go beyond my base animal instincts. I want courtship, not some fortnight fling around the mausoleum. Keep it up, and I'm going to fling you somewhere. Whoa, Chief! Mort backs like slightly out of arm's reach. Women, they appreciate lovers, not fighters. Whatever, Mort, let's go. Okay, you want Mortai Graves and wants to talk to us. We have Sari the Skeptic. Wait, I can push tab key. What about this? I guess the bar zombie? Sorry, I keep being distracted by the neighbors in the garden outside, but don't worry about them. This female corpse is dressed in a heavy burlap shirt. It was great talking to you. It's just the same as always. These bubbling tanks are dispensing their contents into wooden kegs. There's a faint smell of vinegar in the air. Oh, there are rags there, but I'm not quite sure if I can really take them. The bar is made from a green stone that seems to evaporate any liquid that touches it. That's really handy for having in a bar. No roach. Old copper eyes. Several dustmen. Emmerich. Didn't we have to talk to Emmerich? Oh, enter search term. Alright. See, this is what I meant. One of the dustmen told me that if I was looking for Farad, I should speak to someone named Emmerich at the Gathering Dust Bar. So that is all the information that I was looking for. Nice. That's really great that the journal has a search term. If anybody has played this game, the original game, the classic version of this game back in the day, can you tell me if this function has been in the game, has always been in the game, or whether that is a function added by the enhanced edition? Because that is really handy. Alright. Nothing in there, nothing in there, nothing in there. The skeleton worker. I'm trying to work my way up from... I guess the zombie and skeleton workers don't have really anything interesting to say, and I want to speak to the interesting people later. Skeleton turns toward you, rattling as he does so. A number of his bones are held together with leather straps, and a wine-stained green tunic hangs from his shoulders. Nice tunic, I mean it. The skeleton makes no reply. Alright, great talking to you, Bones. Stay healthy. Alright, then let's talk to the guy who wanted our attention. This tiny, wizened man is dwarfed by his huge dustman robes. They look as if they were chosen to cloak his small stature. Although he looks to be in his late 90s, this man is extremely energetic. He fidgets continuously, and his eyes dart around the bar like a bird's. Greetings. The man's eyes gleam as he takes your measure, and he gives a slight nodding greeting. Hail and well met, traveler. You look like one who is just getting their sigil legs about them. He trails off. Pardon me, have we met before? Your face seems familiar somehow. Possibly. Are you certain it was me? Maybe I was mistaken. Mortai shakes his head. Well, no matter, no matter. How is it that Mortai Gravesend may help you? Do you seek... He clucks his tongue as he speaks. The contract, perhaps? Contract? The contract? Why, it is but a simple transaction. From the depths of his huge robe, Mortai pulls forth a dusty parchment and a quill pen. I give you 50 commons. In return, after death, the Dustman Faction may claim your remains. He smiles, then clucks his tongue. What use will you have for them at that point anyway? Have we done that before and gotten money out of that? Because I remember that we've died numerous times. But then where is that money? Or, speaking differently, could I do that now again? I mean, this feels like the game telling me hey, you can sign this contract, then you can go die to some bandits. And as far as I understood it, the game is not over then, but we might actually reawake in the mortuary, the morgue. But maybe we're 50 coppers richer? I don't... But it feels like a weird thing. What do the dustmen do with the body? What does it matter? It is of no consequence when you pass on. It matters to me. Well, if you must know, oftentimes nothing is done with the body, and it is we, the dustmen, who have wasted all that money. More fools, us. Mortai gives a light smile, then looks apologetic. But rarely. There are times when the workers in the mortuary need to be replaced, and then we may have a need for your body. You mean I'll be animated as a corpse and put to work in the mortuary? That doesn't sound good. Ah, but no harm is done, no pain. Mortai raises a finger as if to emphasize the point. And there is no danger. In exchange for money you can spend in this life, you merely have to give us something you will have no need of anyway once you have died. Mortai taps his chest. I signed the contract myself, if you must know. I shall have no need of my body when I pass on. Yeah, I'll consider it. I have some other questions. I don't have a good feeling about this. Because this a quick 50 gold coins, commons, whatever they're called in this world. I got 114. I don't really need them right now. And I'm not quite sure what the game will pull on me if I sign this contract. Or what positive effects it will have on me if I don't sign the contract. Yeah, can you tell me about the patrons in here? Of course. Which of the patrons did you wish to know about? Actually, never mind. I don't know any of their names. I'm searching for a man named Farrett. Have you seen him? He's one of those collectors, isn't he? I know little of him. I think Initiate Emmerich mentioned him in passing. Mortai glances around. Emmerich should be around here in the bar somewhere. Yeah, he's right there. He can usually be found in the far corner at the head table, I believe. Do I have some other questions? Not really, no questions today. Farewell. Mortai nods as you turn to leave. He has a strange expression on his face. Is there something wrong? Mortai frowns. Forgive me, I must ask again. Are you sure we haven't met before? I don't trust this guy, so I'm going to... I mean, it is absolutely possible that we have met before because we've lived several times and died several times. But I don't like him, so I'm not going to tell him about the possibility. No, I don't believe so. Well, no matter. Farewell, Mortai. Yes, farewell, farewell. Something about that one. Yeah, no, I don't... Sari the skeptic. As you approach, the elderly woman turns and stares at you. La, look who's come a-calling on Seer today. On Siri? Siri? Let's call her Siri today. Death's dearest son. She looks you up and down and shakes her head in disbelief. By every power and its mother, boy, what crypt did you crawl out of? Do I tell a joke? I'm going to tell. I'm fresh from the mortuary, actually. That's so. Warms my ears to hear you gave the place the laugh, boy. Not much of a watering hole for one who isn't relieving themselves. He sniffs. Too many cobwebs and dusty mines. You don't like the mortuary? Aren't you a dustman? A dustman? I suppose. I've seen enough sand pass through the hourglass while wearing these robes. This body's almost ready to pay the ferryman. He chuckles, but there's not much mirth in it. Are you afraid of dying? Of course I am, boy. Who isn't? Well, except dustmen. They are not afraid because they've been swallowing so much of their own bad droppings over the decades, they've blinded themselves into thinking that death is some kind of release. It is a release of a sort. If you think this life is a burden, boy, then perhaps I'm not convinced of that. So what sparked this crisis of faith? Life, I suppose. Never you mind. I won't bore you with the niggling details. Well, I would like to know, actually. Oh, would you? She looks at you skeptically. How old do you take me for, boy? I mean, she is described as being old, so let her down gently, not too old. She snorts. Well, you're wrong. I'm really old. Now, I've spent most of my long years teaching dustmen. I've seen many dustmen whelps grow within our order, taught them the ways of the faction, kept the faith, preached the tenets of the faction. He frowns, and so on and so on. No questions, no doubt. This life was merely an antechamber that led to the true death. Okay, and what happened? Well, a half month back I went sick with a fever. I thought it was the end. It rattled my cage. How? Her face becomes as stone. There's something about having your faction members circle around your deathbed like a pack of pale-faced ghouls, nodding and agreeing that your suffering and dying is all for the best. Oh, Syria is so fortunate. She shall soon be relieved of the burden of life. The burden of life? And that's when it struck me that there's something adult about not appreciating your life. The dustmen keep saying that life is misery and suffering, but is it? That we should be happy to pass on into oblivion? Should we? She shakes her head, questions, and precious few answers. It doesn't sound like you believe in the dustman philosophy anymore. I suppose I have got a swarm of doubts all buzzing in my skull. She rubs her temples. Hard to get them all to be quiet sometimes. They need to be fed some answers, and I haven't got them all worked out yet. And what will you do? To be square, boy, I don't even know. That's the problem with doubt. I can't even trust that what I'm feeling is true, or if I'm scared of death only because of my brush with the fever, or even what I should do. Is this a passing thing? I don't know. Siri, if you had truly believed in the Dustman philosophy, then your brush with the fever would not have left you with such doubts. Nice, 500 experience. Siri stares at you and then nods slowly. Maybe so. Maybe so. She frowns, her face wrinkling up in concentration. I'll have to chew it over some more. Right, give me just a second. Oh. You should. It's no small matter. La now, enough of me rattling on about my woes. Siri stares at your scars. You look like you've shared a few handshakes with death yourself. Hasn't that changed your views somewhat? Doesn't it make you appreciate life a bit more? Well, my condition is unique. I woke up in the mortuary. I think they mistook me for a corpse and were prepared to bury me. The strange thing is, I think I actually had died and got better. You're rattling my coffin. Do I want to... Yeah, it's true. Strange are the ways of the plains, and I've seen too much to throw any tale out with a wash. If it's true, why does this happen? I don't know. He seems to think for a moment and then shrugs. Makes two of us then. Most peculiar. Never heard of anything like that. Shame about the memories. Do you have any idea why this happens? Nay, not a one. Never knew anyone who death wouldn't take, until now. I like her. I like her a lot because she believes us. We told her something that should be unbelievable to her, but she believes us. And she respects what we tell her. And also I like her crisis of faith. Well, perhaps I could ask you some other questions. Questions, eh? Well, you can ask. Siri looks at you with a steely eye and then smiles. Crypt Crawler. I like that name, Crypt Crawler. Yeah, I'm searching for a man named Ferret, blah blah blah. That dog, he's the worst of the collector's lot. I heard he has his kip set up somewhere in Ragpicker Square, many streets west of the Mortuary gate. Dangerous place though. Some of those collectors aren't patient enough to wait for folks to die so that they can sell them for jink. Collectors? They are vermin that scavenge the bowels of the hive for bodies to sell to the dustmen. Make a living off the dead. A motley breed. Makes you ashamed to share the same city with them. At least they help keep the streets clean. I think the other questions... I don't want to ask everyone about my journal, not before I've talked to Emmerich, so... I must take my leave. Farewell. So we talked to... Oh, we didn't talk to Noroch. You see a spindle-thin dustman in dirty black robes. His stiff black hair springs forth from his skull like a crown of spikes, and his leper-white skin is drawn sharply across his skull. He is frowning into his drink and mumbling to himself. Greetings. The dustman looks up, blinks once, then looks you up and down, studying you. As he studies you, he takes one of his spiked locks and points at himself with it. Noroch. No, how do you pronounce it? Noroch. Initiate. Dustman. Guard. You look troubled, Noroch. Noroch touches his face and traces the shape of his frown with his finger. Troubled, yes. What's wrong? Many troubles have I. Help, can you? A mausoleum awakes, the dead walk, the dead disturbed, the dustman disturbed. Find out what disturbs the undead, and copper coins will I pay. Very well, where is this mausoleum? Noroch nods. Mausoleum by Dustman Memorial. Go north and west from Black Monument. Go to Arch and a semicircle over your heart with this... Blip. Go to Arch and a semicircle over your heart with this finger this make. He wiggles the index finger on his right hand. To the mausoleum you go, you will. I don't understand this, these directions, but it doesn't matter because I know where the mausoleum is. But go to Arch and a semicircle. I don't know. I don't know, but we have another side quest. That's good. Old Copperized, what do you have to tell us? Before you is a tall and silent figure. He could easily pass for a statue, although the deep furrows in his face and brow make you wonder if the sculptor was a little too eager in defining the face with a chisel. He looks well over 50 years old, but exactly how much over 50 it's hard to tell. As he slowly turns to look at you, you catch the dull sheen of copper in his eyes. Greetings. Old Copperized stares at you. His eyes are difficult to make out past the black wall of his eye sockets, but they look to have a coppery sheen about them. Okay, I get it that Old Copperized has eyes that look like copper. But I don't want to sign one of the dead contracts. I have some questions. He doesn't say anything. So probably Old Copperized is really only there to take people, to take the signatures for the contracts. So yeah. Okay, let's finally talk to Emmerich. You see a heavy-set man with dark skin and grim features. He is dressed in dustman robes and is regarding you with a stony gaze. Greetings. You have the look of one lost. The man's voice is like stone settling. Did the wind send you, or are you here with purpose? Who are you? I am Emmerich, factotum and initiate of the fourth circle. This your bar? If you measure ownership in copper, this is not my establishment. If you measure ownership in spirit, it is mine. He pauses as if trying to emphasize a point. The dustmen here are my students. They are under my protection. Can I ask you some questions? Emmerich waits. Can you tell me about the Dustman Faction? Dustmen seek the true death. Some call it oblivion, but this is incorrect. To dustmen, the true death is freedom from the chains of this false life. False life? Actually, I don't want to hear more about this, but I need to. At the same time, I want to go through all of these questions. This life that many cling to with their emotions is a false existence. As long as one clings to it, they will continually be reborn into it. One must divest themselves of emotion to escape this cycle. I see. Can you tell me how your faction is organized? Dustmen are organized into 5 circles. The 5th circle is made of the lowest rank of Dustmen, Initiates. The first circle is comprised of the highest ranking Dustmen, the ruling body of our faction. Okay, some other questions. I don't want to join the Dustmen. At least not before I've heard what the other factions are. I am searching for a man named Ferret. Have you seen him? I would know why you seek the Collector Ferret. I wish to speak with him, as do I. He has made such a thing difficult. He speaks through other men. When 2 men speak through other men, little is said and much is lost. Why do you want to speak with Ferret? The Collector Ferret has brought many corpses to the mortuary of late. One must ask where these bodies are from. Tell me more about those bodies. Some are recent dead. They still have their last moments in their eyes. Many more bodies are centuries dead. The dust of ages lies upon their bones. One must ask where these bodies are from. Look, whatever is between you two is your business. I just want to know where he is. It is not known to me where the Collector Ferret is. He hides from the eyes of the Dustmen. I would seek other collectors and ask them your questions. That is not helpful. That is really not helpful. Okay, I'm going to ask him about the journal. I have come here in search of a journal. These eyes have seen no journal. Perhaps your search will take you elsewhere. Okay, that was really not helpful. But we have heard where Ferret might be as well. So we've spoken to Emmerich. Dahl told me that Ferret can be found beyond the mortuary in some place called the Hive. I mean, that's, if I remember correctly, the whole city thing. Wait, wasn't it? Was it Siri the Skeptic? Yeah, she told me something about him. Why is that not in? I had some questions. Searching for a man named. Yeah, I heard he has a skip set up somewhere in Ragpicker Square, many streets west of the mortuary gate. Okay, thanks. Can I find that here? Ragpick's not in. Oh, this makes I was just dense as shit because he said I should go to the archway there, make a semicircle over my heart with my right index finger, then the entrance would open. Because we've seen the mortuary already, but we couldn't enter. Okay. Also, Anna, you're so going into my party. So, we do have the map. This is the mortuary, and many streets north, south, east, west of it we could find. Wait, what? Why am I being attacked? Why the heck? Okay, that guy is badly injured. Just going not too badly. Okay. Take that. Copper comments. No idea where those guys came from. What I wanted to say before we got attacked was that I Would like to try and do the side quest where we explore the mausoleum. At least go into it and see if it's not full of enemies that are much stronger than we are. Wait, don't you see that? More comments. Always a good thing. And one of them ran away into this direction. So I would like to see how far we can come with this side quest, because we have a special place or a distinct place where we have to go. This is just, I mean, I know what it's about, but I don't know where to go to make progress with this side quest. Does that make sense? I think you understand what I want to say. We have to kill 3 starved dogs barking. I don't know if those guys that we have just killed count towards that. I don't think so. So we can do this one, but we have to find this group of bandits first. We have no idea where to find progress or how to make progress with this quest. Same with this one, because we have no idea where to find Craddock. So this is the side quest that we can actually make progress right now. So I think it's a good idea to do exactly that. Nice. Oh, inventory is full. All right, I remember. We still haven't found a way to get rid of, or how to sell things from my inventory. I just hope that a copper earring is worth more than a wooden club. So, okay. A guardian spirit. The spectral figure materializes from the gloom of the passageway ahead and quickly moves to block your path. It floats before you, its once human features twisted in a mask of rage. Defilers, leave this place at once. I like how every time we meet someone new, we can just go, greetings. Leave now. Its booming voice echoes down the halls. This place is forbidden to the living. Leave while you still can. I have some questions first. Seek your answers elsewhere. This place is a sanctuary for the dead. I shall not permit their slumber to be disturbed by the intrusion of yet another insolent mortal. Another? Has someone else been here? If you must know, yes. There is another intruder who, even now, continues to violate the sanctity of these hallowed halls. The anger in the spirit's voice fades. He seems somewhat saddened by the admission. The souls of my brothers and sisters cry out for peace. Who is this other intruder? He is an evil coward who wields great power over the dead. He seeks something within these halls. What it might be or what his purpose is in seeking it, I cannot say. Why don't you drive this intruder away? I cannot. The coward has sealed himself within the inner chamber of the mausoleum. He has erected powerful walls that bar my entrance into the chamber. It is from there that he calls upon his dark arts to awaken my brethren and bends them to his evil will. Sounds to me like you need the help of one intruder to get rid of another. The spirit remains silent for several long moments. You can almost feel the weight of his lifeless gaze upon you. Yes! You might prevail where I have failed. If you will pledge to rid me of this blackguard, I shall grant you passage. What say you?
Updated my journal.
I'll do it. So be it. The spirit slowly begins to fade until only the echoing of its disembodied voice remains. But take heed. Tread lightly in these halls, lest you join the others in eternal rest.
I'm gone.
Okay, that's interesting. The thing is, as soon as we entered this mausoleum, I had plans to leave it right again. Okay, quick save, I remember that. Because the problem is this: both my and Mort's inventories are full. So I would like to explore the what's it called, the northwestern portion of the hive, and I hope that we find a trader of some sort so I can just make space in my inventory.
I'm gone.
Okay, he can give us directions. This loud, grimy fellow saunters up to you and gives a quick bow. Greetings, Cutter. Only a single copper for me services as a tout. What can I lead you to? Sure, here's a copper piece. Ah, shit. This part of the hive has gates leading east, north, and southwest. Locations of note include the flophouse, where a weary blood can get some rest. I had hoped that I could ask him for a trader, but maybe in the flophouse. The flophouse sounds like an inn, but maybe there is. Maybe the innkeeper is a waresman as well. So where's the flophouse? Right in the middle of this part of the hive cutter, a long and narrow building whose door faces southeast. Good place to call Kip for a night if you're feeling beat. Okay, where's the north gate lead? It leads direct pick a square cutter, where all the collectors call Kip. Cool, so we found that out. The east gate to another part of the hive cutter. The mortuary is there and the gathering dust, but that's where we come from. And the southwest gate, just another part of the hive cutter. The office for vermin and disease control is there, and a large market. That is all I wish to know. Farewell. So, what is that? This black-scaled reptile towers to a height of 8 feet. Its great height, however, is offset by its thin and snake-like frame. A long, prehensile tail drags behind it, and its leathery wings are hooked behind its back. A strong, vinegary smell emanates from the creature, as well as a certain amount of heat. It seems to be ignoring you. Greetings! Whoa, Chief, bar that. You don't want to be rattling your bone bugs with any fiend on the street. Leave be. He wanted to ask it some questions. No, you don't. Mort glances at the creature, then turns back to you and lowers his voice to a whisper. They're touchy. Let's just go. I'll risk it. This black-scaled fiend towers to a height of 8. Okay. Seems to be ignoring you. The creature slowly turns its head down to look at you. Its scaled forehead wrinkles into a frown, then it opens its mouth, giving a low, rasping hiss. You notice that the heat radiating from the creature begins to rise. This is such a big mistake, but I need to do it. I would speak with you for a moment. The creature opens its mouth, displaying a row of blackened fangs. Fire begins to dance around the shoulders and arms of the creature as it gives a long, low hiss. Let's do this. I hiss back. Hiss. The creature roars and then it launches itself at you. Oh, crap.
I'm hurt.
Yep.
Encore.
Feels like I've been strained through someone's bowels.
Well, that didn't end well. Good thing we saved.
I'm gone.
Even though I wonder if saving is really then necessary. I mean, I will do it, but as I predicted, we just woke up again in the mortuary. Okay, that was fun. What is this? Small dwelling, Nestor, right? This looks a bit like a... No, that doesn't really look like a shop.
All right.
I want to talk to all of those, but right now I just want to find a shop
I'm gone.
and then go back into the mausoleum. What the... This... So, through this gate, we should arrive at the market. If the tower is to be believed. Crier of Anan, harlots and thugs. Wait, what? Why are they attacking me?
See that?
Those are too many. Way too many. No. I could use some buffs. Heals 9 hit points and resistance. I'm going to use one of those. Good. What about Corpse Fly Charm? Warm Curse. But I don't. Looks like I cannot really use it. Bone Charm. Armor class, yeah, I need to use that as well. Hold on, let me just check this here. Yeah, that looks fine.
See that?
Right. One down, one badly injured. Can do this.
Damn it.
I hate that they're running away. That's really getting on my nerves. He's standing on the pickups. Almost. Come on! There you have it. Bronze ring and coppers. And another bronze ring which I can't take with me. And more money. The bronze ring. And let's get the last one. Also, this looks like the market. Yes, merchants. Ah, nice. This is going well. So, Hive merchant, what do you have to sell? Or what are you buying? This attractive young woman is smiling and beckoning to all passers-by as she calls out the virtues of her goods. Plates, jugs, cups, tankards, drink from the goblets of the finest lords. Upon seeing you, she waves you over as if you were an acquaintance. May I see what you're selling here? I sell plates, cups, jugs, tankards, cutlery, and the like, sir. All of quality, sir, the finest. She steps back and lifts the lid of the crate of the wagon behind her. Please look over my goods. Should you have any questions, feel free to ask. Step closer, examine the contents of the crate. You peer into the crate. It's full of plates, cups, jugs, tankards, cutlery, and the like. They look to be of varying degrees of quality, but some of it appears quite nice. As you're looking them over, she presses up against you. See anything you like, sir? Her long waving hair brushing against your shoulder smells faintly sweet, like vanilla. Where does all of this come from? She flashes a wicked grin. My lovers are all burglars, sir. These goods are pilfered from the homes of Sigil's nobles. Upon seeing your expression, she laughs sweetly. A jest, sir, merely. My father and brothers are tinkers. These are wares which are discarded from the nobles' manors and made good by them once more. I see, I had some questions. Oh, sir, but wait. Are you sure there's nothing you need? Surely something for your own home or a gift? She bites her lip coyly, cocking her head slightly. Well, that is a nice plate right there. What, sir, this one here? No, that. Wait, this is ridiculous. I need no plates. I had questions. Sorry, sir, I have no time for questions. I must sell what I can before the day is done, for my family is large and hungry. I understand. But I'm a little bit saddened. I could not sell her my shit. Hey, Basha, get over here. Come see what I got for you. What do you have to offer for me? Yes! This is what I was looking for. Ah, crap, but he's not taking everything. Steel and thread, sell that. Copper earring. The cloth charm was... It seemed rather useful, so I'm going to sell this ring and this. Yeah, I don't want that. He's not taking the weapons. Still better than nothing. What could I buy? Scroll of luck, scroll of blur. Oh, identify. I don't have anything to identify. And steal. Nope, not going to steal, not today. Another hive merchant. Ah, come on over then. Come to see my blades, have you? Yes, I have. Ah, he's not... Okay, he's taking my jagged knife. Ah. Sell all of this crap. Yes. Nice. Also, maybe we can really get a better weapon. Can I? No, I cannot. Oh, also, we have a lot of money. It was not really... I didn't sell this mainly for the money, but to get rid of it. But pretty good. An antler axe. That looks fun. Primitive cultures often use parts of animals as weapons. Fist irons, iron knuckles, wooden club, hammer, battle axe. Green steel knife. Barbarian green steel. Wait. So, I've still been using the iron pry bar. This does 1 to 6 crushing, 1 to 6 crushing, 1 to 3 slashing. So this thing I can get rid of. What is the hammer? 1 to 6 crushing, speed 6. 1 to 6 crushing, speed 4. And it can be used to open stuff. Looks to me as if the pry bar is really enough, so I can sell these and look for something that is better than 1 to 6, maybe. 1 to 3, 1 to 3. What did I say? 1 to 6, right? And this is 2 to 7, the poor quality sledgehammer. 2 to 7 slashing. Battle axe. 1 to 8 slashing. Two to 5, 2 to 9. Battle axe of quality. I have enough money to get that. 1 to 10 or 2 to 9. Let's get it. I want that. I really want that. And what about... I still don't really know what kind of weapon Mort can use. Can I... Hold on, I'm going to cheat. Because I want to know that. Planescape, Torment, what weapons can Mort use? Does that help me? Okay. It looks like Mort cannot really use. Okay. No, I got enough information. And that was not really a spoiler. All I've read is that Mort can find a new set of teeth. But that helps me to find out whether it makes sense to get a dagger form or something like that. Apparently, it does not make sense to get that. Okay, let's do a little bit of cleaning up. Mort can keep all of the text stuff. Can also keep keys. Sure, why not? Yeah, sounds good. And the cleaning rags. Okay, cool. So we spoke to that merchant and that merchant. What does he sell? All manner of deliciousies to delight your palate, my good man. Arborean fire seeds, garbar root, Elysian pears, crimson lotus petals, Bitopian shepherd's bread, shift spice from the chaos of limbo, and sea plums are what I have at the moment. Merely 5 coppers for a taste of anything you would like. What does the shift spice taste like? Okay. I'll try the shift spice. He dangles a tiny paper pocket before you. Wet your fingertip and place it into the spice, then simply lick it from your finger. Each dip should taste slightly differently. You finish off the entire packet in a matter of 9 or 10 licks. As promised, each taste provided you a different flavor. Is this a waste of my copper? I don't care. I'll try some fire seeds. Don't swallow them. Simply spit them out when they finish tingling. Pop them in your mouth. The seeds, sweet and tasting faintly of cinnamon, become warm and tingle in your mouth. It takes a moment for you to realize that they've actually burst into flame. Soon, however, the sensation dies out and you spit them into the gutter. And the garbar root, and then I'm done. It is quite chewy. Do not swallow it, but spit it out when it no longer has taste. Put it into your mouth. The root, initially quite hard and difficult to chew, has a sweet syrupy taste. Soon it becomes soft and gummy, and you find yourself merrily smacking away. Eventually, though, the flavor dies off and you spit the gooey brown wad into the gutter. Interesting. So it's like chewing gum.
Try these spices, sir. You can just taste them all over your...
All over your... Okay. Jump, Lim Lim, jump! The merchant seems to suddenly notice you. Oh, greetings! Would you like to purchase one of these playful gambling Lim Lims, my lord? Not yet. Just what are these Lim Lims? They are from the outlands, my lord. Neither wholly insect nor animal. They are friendly. Isn't an insect an animal? They are friendly, playful, and quite loyal. He takes a sidelong glance at the Lim Lims, then leans close to whisper. Pretty tasty too in a pinch. Interesting. I had some other questions. Also, I need a tea refill. Do I want to purchase one? A Lim Lim will provide its own food, eating insects, tiny rodents, and the like. They would follow you everywhere you go, are easy to clean up after, are quiet, exercise themselves with a constant flipping about, and best of all, they leap over 15 feet when prodded with hot coals. Well, duh. One will cost you but 40 coppers, my lord, a mere pittance for such an entertaining pet and friend. Mort, what do you think? Why not, boss? It'll be fun to kick around when we're down, right? Well, I can kick it vicariously through you, at least. I want to see that 15 hot coal jump, too. I mean, I do have more than enough money, so I'll take one merchant. How nice, my lord. Here you are. My own Lim Lim. Why did I buy this? This is your pet Lim Lim. Talk to item. This is your pet Lim Lim. Noticing it has your attention, it chirps up at you lovingly. Pew! Examine your Lim Lim. Your Limlim appears both insect and animal in origin. Its legs are oversized, but its arms are small, nearly vestigial, and a brightly speckled half-shell runs down its back. It sports twin pairs of insect-like wings and has tiny black eyes and a mouth that always appears to be smiling gleefully. I'm petting my Limlim. Pio! Pio! The Limlim squirms about merrily, its wings buzzing. It seems to enjoy the affection immensely. Put your Limlim down to run around a bit. Okay, that is it. I'm going to pick it back up. I think it's safer in my pockets. Wait, safe. Braddock, we were tasked to find him. You see a huge man watching the area with a tight-lipped frown and narrowed eyes. He is hunched slightly as if bearing a heavy load on his shoulders. The unpleasant smell of sweat and dirt wafts from his clothes. Greetings. Aye, what are you sniffing around here for? You Craddock? May I? If I am, what it be to ye? I come with a message from Bay and the sender. The message states the shipment must be incursed by the third day or there will be a penalty. By the hells! Can they be such fools that they think we can miracle it there? Alright then, your message has found its way to the right ears for all the good it will do. What's the problem? Look around ye. These laggards and half-wits can barely keep up with the load as it stands, and now it needs doing in half the time. Do you need any help? I'll tell you what I need. All my men to show up for work. July is gone, missing since this morning. I need him back now. July? Where did he go? That hive-bred goat is probably passed out on the street somewhere by the smoldering corpse when he should be here helping us. Worthless sod. Yeah, I want to help him, but I want to get something out of it. Craddock is silent for a moment and then nods. Aye. You find July, you tell him to drag his worthless bub-ridden hide here. I will pay ye for your trouble. When you found him. Now get. You say he's likely by the smoldering corpse. Where's that? It's south and east of here. Head through the southeast gate and then head east for about a block. It's got a mess of drunks outside. Can't miss it. July is most like somewhere around there. Alright, so we've made progress with that quest. I would really love to find a merchant who is buying my wooden clubs, but I don't really know if maybe they are just not sold. Goa. You see a thin, yellow-skinned humanoid covered with a variety of dazzling tattoos. His eyebrows have been accented with black charcoal lines and his teeth are filed to points. He sees you and waves you over, rattling his dice in his... He displays a feral shark-toothed grin. His eyes are like shiny black orbs. His voice is low and raspy. Goa greets you as well. You have come to play a game, yes? Not really. But I had some questions. No interesting questions have I, only the game. The turning of the die, the glint of coin, won or lost, yes? He shakes the bone dice in his palm. You have no interest in these things? Alright, I'll play. This coin? Your coin. He places it at your feet and pulls out another. This coin? Yours. He places it at his own feet, then holds up 2 dice between his thumb and index finger. The dice. We both roll 1, yes? You roll higher both coins. He snatches the coins up from the ground and proffers them to you. Yours. Go or roll higher? Mine. Neither rolls higher. The coin stays for another roll. So, how much coin will lie at your feet? Yeah, let's go all in 25 copper commons. You both roll the dice until you roll higher. You pick up the coins and put them away. Goa nods, frowning. It is enough for now, but perhaps we shall play again later, you and I. Wait, is something wrong? Goa regards you closely for a moment and then nods. Never do I indulge in Hashima's folly. Never do I cheat, human. But I see fortune, read it, know it in the face of a man. However, in you I see nothing. I know nothing. You have no luck? No fortune, neither good nor ill? Or you make your own, perhaps? I do not know. He places his dice back into his tunic. We might play later, perhaps, but no more this moment. Alright, that's almost our Lim gotten out of free. Gotten out of free. That's not an English sentence. We almost didn't have to pay full price for our Lim.
Try these spices, sir. You could just taste them all over your...
Did I? Okay, Profira. She seems like a crazy woman who's announcing the apocalypse. She has a powerful voice that carries across the marketplace, even cutting through the noise made by the merchants. Yeah, I leave her alone. So we found the merchants, but still, maybe these things are just not able to be sold. Reekwind. Sorry for it. No, I don't want to hear his story right now. I've dweller. Giscori. He may be a special merchant. A spindly looking merchant with a brush of grey and red stubble across his chin. He's shaking slightly as you watch. Greetings. Aye, a Giscor. He bows and spreads his trembling hands. As he does, you notice his hands and forearms are a twisted mass of black scar tissue, as if they were once badly burned. What are you selling? Giscor buy cloth. Giscor sell cloth, washcloth, mend cloth, and wear cloth. And I see what you have. But I could use some bandages. Let's get these men in weight. I can... Oh, yeah, I see. Okay. Buy them. That looks good. I like that. And you know what? I'm going to try something. Can I? Let me save. I don't want those wooden clubs anymore, so I'm going to put them into this. Also the cobblestone. I'm going to put the wooden clubs into the barrel. And maybe... Wait. Can I not...
Done.
What's up? Huh? Okay.
Right. I guess we need all of this. Alright, okay. Or at least I don't want to lose this. But now maybe... Well, I can now experiment whether the items that I put in there... Wait. Shouldn't I be able to draw a box to... okay, let's do it like this. So, I can now experiment to see whether the items will stay in here after I reload the game or after some time has passed. Maybe I will find another merchant later that will buy these wooden clubs for a copper piece each. But in any case, I'm now rid of them, and that is what I wanted to do. Because I didn't want to explore all of this now at once, because now I wanted to go back to the, what's it called? Mausoleum. Alright. Yes! Get in there. Let's save again and explore this. Oh god, skeletons. But hey, I can try out my new axe. So, it's a crap load of skeletons. Well, they take a lot of damage. They don't seem to do a lot of damage, but Also, I like the fact that the skeleton... Oh, I misclicked. That the skeletons don't run away. That they seem to be reanimated and don't have a sense of fear, while the thugs all ran away as soon as they got badly injured. That's a nice little detail. Also, this mausoleum looks more like a... What? What? That came from over there, so... What?
Did you see that?
I also hope that fighting against these guys is not making the ghost angry or something. He told us to be careful in here. I hope this still counts as being careful. Okay, just a second. Can I... No, I don't think so. I was wondering whether I could rest in order to heal up, but it doesn't seem so. Also, this mausoleum looks more like... Wait, what? Okay, that came from... Oh, could it be that those are traps that I'm activating? There was a way to move slowly. Yeah, wait. And if we move slowly, usually in these types of games, you have a higher chance of noticing traps. Whoa, a giant skeleton, and I'm not in good shape. Use this. And use a bandage. Okay.
Once the good is done.
Oh, nice. He's aggroed Mort and now he's stuck in a loop. Wonky game physics and mechanics. I like it. This is good. Come on. Yes! Nice. What was it with leveling up?
What's up?
How does that work?
Yeah.
Oh, does it work? How do I level up in this game?
All right.
The game is not paused anymore. Statistics screen. Ah, I see. Level up. Okay, cool. Level 3 and level 4.
I'm gone.
Do another crap load of skeletons. Good thing that fighting in this game works so I can refill my drink while fighting. Is it as warm where you are at the moment as it is here in Germany? Because I'm slowly melting away and I'm just playing this super chill game. Way too hot again. That's just in off-topic news. This is really not a game to go on a tangent while playing, because this is the first time that we are not being exposed to a lot of awesome story and characters, but that we're fighting. So there's not really a lot of time in this game where I can, where I have to think of a topic to talk about. There's mainly a lot of reading. I like that, that's good. But sometimes the reading gets really tedious. And I still feel like we're moving at a snail's pace while playing this game, which is fine by me, that's okay. It can take me 2 years to finish this game, that's okay. A couple of days ago I did actually, no worries, I didn't spoil myself, thankfully. But I wanted to see how long this game might be, so I've looked at the table of contents of a walkthrough to see how many areas there were, and it seems like there are not too many different areas. But then again, I think in that walkthrough they just had the hive as the first major area, and we've explored one large portion of the hive, but we have just we went through 2 others, which we haven't even fully explored yet, and haven't even talked to every interesting NPC yet. And I think there are more, there might be even more places to visit in the hive. So yes, this game might take a while. Okay, can we bug him out the way we did last time? No, we cannot. Come on, Mort. Come on, Mort.
Damn it.
A critical miss and critical hits. Does it say badly injured? Badly injured is good.
What's the word, Chief? Damn it.
Near death. Come on, come on, come on. Yes! Nice. However, they don't have any loot at all, which is a little bit disappointing. Okay, yes. A mausoleum inner chamber, so I somehow didn't even realize that was an exit. I can feel a little bit of air coming through. There's a bit of cool air. That was really nice. This is cold tea, by the way, in case you were wondering. I did boil some water to make it, but I've been wanting to try out whether I can't just simply put the tea bag in cold water to make iced tea of this sort, or whether there is something, whether hot boiling water is needed to make tea. I got enough tea bags to try that out. I just want to experiment with it. Also, a pro tip for hot weather: if you do have a freezing compartment in your refrigerator, I guess most people have, put some grapes in there. It's awesome. It's the best thing. When the grapes are frozen, they are a little bit harder than usual, but really not. It's not like a rock, and you're not going to lose any teeth while eating them. They still remain. Is the correct English word might be tart, I think. Like they are solid, but still, if you bite on them, they are easy to chew, and it's cool and it's tasty because of the grapes, a little bit of sourness, a little bit of sweetness, and just awesome. You could use them as makeshift ice cubes for a drink, but they're not really working that well in a drink. They remain rather. They don't pull their. Oh wait, I need to stop talking about grapes. Anyway, put grapes in your freezer. It's the best idea ever. You see a mid-sized man in long robes of deep black. His hair is neatly coiffed and an impeccably trimmed goatee complements his handsome features. So, not like this. Noticing your arrival, he puts down the book he was writing in and strides confidently over to you, smiling. Impressive. I must admit, I never thought you would make it this far. I'm glad to have disappointed you. Are you the one responsible for all the walking dead? Who I am is of no consequence to you. What I want is the question that should concern you most. Oh, what I want is the question that should concern you most. As he speaks, he looks you up and down as if somehow fascinated by you. Very well. What do you want? Takes a step back and cocks an eyebrow. I want your blood. Is that some kind of threat? The man starts to answer but stops himself abruptly. An evil smile spreads across his face and he begins to laugh. Yes, I suppose it is. He continues to laugh even harder at his own private joke. You notice that his hands have begun to move at his sides. Slowly they flit back and forth, tracing intricate patterns in the air. Shit. Strahan Rune Shadow. Oh crap, I need to use bandages and I need to use a lot of them. This, that, and...
I'm gone.
Wait, what's this? Okay, I'm under some kind of spell, so okay, but Mord is doing well. Can you go by him? I think we can do this. If Strahan is already injured, we can do this. Wait, what? Has Mord bitten him to death and I didn't even notice it? That is awesome. Great, a bracelet, scroll of ice knife, copper commons. A skull. Chromatic orb, dagger, scroll of strength, and Strahan's diary. Cool. This looks to be a very well made dagger. It has a nice balance and a very sharp blade. Identify. I don't have anything. Okay, I need to go back to the merchant. Because blue, I'm pretty sure, means magic in some kind of fashion. Hey, interesting. I want to put the blue ones there. A skull. Can he do something with the scroll? Okay, not really. Ice knife, scroll of strength, and chromatic orb. What does that do? Magical orb of color which can then be hurled at the target and cast its normal attack roll +3. Okay. The diary. This leather-bound tome is cracked and worn with age. Some sort of crest has been burned into the cover. You can make out a series of interlocking triangles centered about the initials SR. The writing upon its pages has faded considerably, but the last few entries seem to have been penned recently. Day 2 of the 127th year of Factal Hashkar's reign. At last, I have found it. The missing page of the Abtar Grimoire is now in my possession. As I had guessed, the page detailed the necessary components for the casting of the final transformation spell. I have all but one of the components. A drop of an immortal's blood is all that stands between me and the eternal power of lichdom. But where can I find such a rarity? Perhaps I should seek the answer through divination. Day 14 of the 127th year of Factal Hashkar's reign. After days of texting divination spells, I finally have my answers. The divination revealed the location of an immortal to be somewhere within an ancient mausoleum located in the hive section of Sigil. I must make haste. I must find this creature and draw its blood before it moves on. Day 15 of the 127th year of Factal Hashkar's reign. I have arrived at the mausoleum. Immediately I was set upon by a shade that guards the remains of those interred within this place. I managed to elude the spirit and found my way into what appears to have been some sort of inner sanctum. Protected by some minor wards to prevent any further interruptions by the supernatural twit, I have set about raising some of the locals to conduct a search for the immortal. If the divination was accurate and the immortal is here, then likely it is interred within one of the many crypts that line these halls. It is only a matter of time now. Day 17 of the 127th day of Factal Hashkar's reign. I am not alone. Someone has entered the mausoleum and is interfering with my servants. Could this be the one I seek? The divination revealed only that I would find the immortal here. Could it be that my presence in this place has prompted that which I seek to seek me out? What a delightful twist. I shall have to... The ink of this last entry is still wet. Okay, that's interesting, but even more interesting to me is day 2 of the 127th year and day 14. First of all, who is Factal Hashkar? Because I haven't heard anything of a king or emperor. Who is this guy that lives 127 years long, for 127 years? And what interests me the most is this year has only just begun, so it's about 2 weeks after New Year's Eve in this world, because this must be today, right? Day 17 of the 127th year of Factal Hashkar's reign. That interests me much more at the moment than this guy who is now dead.
I'm gone.
Oh, he's here. As you step into the corridor, the guardian spirit materializes before you. Its ghostly countenance regards you benevolently. I thank you. You have done me a great service. The spirits of my charges sleep quietly once again. Go in peace, friend. The apparition fades away, leaving you alone in the deserted halls of the mausoleum.
Updated my journal.
Nice, and a whole bunch of experience points. All right, and that was quest given to us by Noroch. So we can go back to the not Skull and Bones, Gathering Dust bar, right? Yeah. That's the correct way? Nope, that's not. What? Oh, okay. Wait, I can take this now with me. Oh, another wooden club, which I can stick into the barrel near the merchants. Was this one the bar? Yes. Where was... There. You see Noroch, he's pulling at one of the spikes of his hair and using it to scratch a spot on his face. You can't help but think he'd look a lot better with dreadlocks. I found out what was going on in the Mausoleum. The dead sleep again.
Journal.
The Raj's line of worry smoothed out as you speak. Thanks, give I. He reaches into his robes and draws forth a small bag which he hands to you. Copper coin. Twice 100. That was not too shabby at all. Wait, awaiting death. I've never... didn't speak to him. He's staring at the wall with somber expression. Greetings. He doesn't look up. Can I ask you some questions? He doesn't respond. Alrighty then. Mort hisses at you. Let's go, Chief. This dusty might as well be fertilizer. As you try to leave, the dustman suddenly speaks, his voice barely a murmur. You have to strain to hear the words. You think he said something about wanting to die. What did you say? The boy's expression does not flicker. Do you want to die? The truth. No. Do you? Yes. He studies you. Why do you want to live? I don't want to join Oblivion just yet. I like being alive a lot better. The dustman listens silently. After you speak, he does not respond, merely watches you. He looks like he is thinking. Do you want to die? Is that why you asked? Yes. Why do you want to die? This existence is a mockery of life. I do not wish to continue the charade any longer. Why would anyone wish to remain in this foul city in the center of a multiverse that feeds on pain and hatred? Death is silent, comforting. That's a bleak outlook. There's a lot more to life than pain and hatred. This is living? He bares his teeth and his hands clench. This existence is a mockery of life. I do not wish to continue the charade any longer. Death is silent, comforting. Then why haven't you killed yourself already? I have been looking for a means to end my life. Will you kill me? If you lack the conviction to kill yourself, I'm not going to do it for you. It is not a matter of conviction. Then it must be another matter then. So I ask you, what is it about living that drives you to hate it? Yeah, blah blah. Surely living cannot be as bad as we make it out to be. I mean, this is now going in circles. No. Very well, leave me, we shall not speak again. Well then...
Alright.
Alright, so this was successful. We've completed our first real side quest. I just, without thinking, walked into the wrong... Greetings, stranger. Looks like you're in Dark Alley Shift territory now. Looks like you've got a purse that could use some lightning. You better pray it's got enough. Opponent bluff. I already paid this time through. He looks off into the shadows, makes a hand motion, looks back at you. No, you didn't. You're gonna die. Okay. Good thing I bought that really big axe. These guys are shit. That went a lot better than expected. Rusty dagger, bronze ring.
I'm gone.
And another one. And another one, but...
I'm hurt.
Did you see that?
Alright.
Okay, I didn't actually want to go there. I wanted to go back to the northwestern portion. And what do our quests say? Oh wait, we can... Bay in the Sender. We can finish another quest, hopefully. Were you successful in finding credit, good sir? He had a high voice, right? Yes, and I passed him along your message, although it didn't seem to please him any.
My journal.
Bane doesn't seem to have heard any word after yes, for he smiles and heaves a sigh of relief. Good fortune indeed. Thank you, good sir, thank you. He reaches into his robe and pulls forth a handful of coppers, which he counts out and then hands to you. 30 comments for delivering a message, eh? Fair enough. Oh, more than fair, good sir, more than fair. I can say without hesitation that there is no finer profession in all Sigil than that of a runner for the House of Senders. I will keep that in mind. Farewell. Nice. So we have now 770 coppers. That's really, really good. Yeah, we can find the starved dogs barking. I have a feeling that we would find them just where I've just been ambushed. Ingress, I think we will just have to go about and stumble upon a portal. July, yeah, we can find him, but we still have to find Farad and. Okay.
Done.
Let's just go here because this is the Rag Picker Square. Okay, I see. Vector. Okay. Let's do the following. This area is not as big as the one before that, so there are collectors. There are a lot of people which I haven't talked to yet here. Have I actually visited the flop house? I think I did, but this is...
I'm gone.
Yeah, it's just this.
I'm gone.
Alright, tell you what. Let's call it a day here. So next time we can, first of all, save. We can talk to all the interesting guys over here, then explore the flophouse, and then we can go to Rag Picker Square to finally find Farad. So I think that sounds like a good plan. Let us save the game. I must say that I find this list of save games really, really disorienting. Let's make a new save just to... Wait, I do have the stream save one. Yes, let's use that. Good. Before I leave this, is there really no way to rest? How to play? Because I am asking, because I have seen rest party. Yes, because I've just seen in the save game, or in the save and load game things, that it still says day 1, and it was about day 1 hour 27, I don't know, but we do have it's 1 a.m. right now, so there had to be a way to skip forward the time. It is too dangerous to rest here. Okay, can I rest in the flop house? Save, and you must obtain permission to rest here. I see, but still there's the possibility that we can rest, so we can advance time, and okay, I get it. Good. Save this one last time, and thanks again for stopping by and watching the stream, or watching this on YouTube, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.